How much did it feel like you, particularly offensively, kind of needed this type of game?
Needed it badly, It's been a long time since we even shot 50% from the field, so to shoot over 60 felt like the floodgates kind of opened up for us. So great night for the whole team. It was a really well-executed offensive game, and then, we caught them on the back-to-back, which helped, but, our defense was solid, and great start to the game, and there weren't any let-ups, so it was a really good night for us.
Pace, seemed like it was great all night. Just what did that open up for you guys tonight?
Well, it sets up everything. When we push the ball, made or missed, we just have more time with the shot clock. You put a lot of pressure on the defense, and you get into the offense faster. You just race the ball up the floor. Good things happen in general. So I thought that was a big key tonight.
Steve, I think at one point you had 31 makes and 25 assists on those makes, and you had 42 assists and 53 baskets. When's the last time you felt you saw the ball move like it did tonight?
Yeah, it's been a while, but I think it's all connected. The game is always connected, and when we defend and we get stops, it's easier to run, and when we push the pace after makes. That makes a big difference. I thought Draymond really did a great job of that, just maintaining the pace throughout and urging our guys to run the wings and get down the floor.
If there's one thing you want to tell your team from tonight that could unlock your offense again, would you say you think it's the defense?
I don't think there's one thing. I think it's just a combination of everything you saw tonight. Aggressive defense and running the floor, pushing the ball, made or missed, and sharing the ball. So that's the formula. I do think that we can start to develop a rhythm, and I like this rotation. Dennis is a fantastic on-ball defender, and so to be able to have him guard a guy like Maxey right from the start is a huge plus for us. And I thought he set a tone with his defense. He also really pushed the ball and ran the floor, and so he's a fast point guard. I think we're really asking him to play even faster, and to, if he doesn't have the ball, to just run up the floor instead of coming back and getting it. So I think it's a little bit of an adjustment for him, like it would be for anybody coming into a new team in the middle of the year and not having a training camp. So it looks like he's starting to get more comfortable with what we're trying to do. And like I said, just the defense that he brings on the perimeter, to me, is game-changing, and I think it's going to allow us to match up with teams a lot better.
Steph passed Michael Jordan for the most 30-point games after 35-year-olds among guards. What makes it so tough to perform like this at this stage of a career as a guard?
Well, I think maybe Steph's most underrated quality is just his endurance and his incredible fitness level. He's worked so hard over the years. You look at pictures of him from his first few years in the league, and he doesn't even look like the same guy. He's just built up his body, but also worked on his skill throughout, those years where he's learning how to play through fatigue. Not just about getting stronger and building more endurance, but maintaining and improving a skill level throughout with people draped all over him. Pretty incredible. So that was a great stat. There was a lot going on there, but if you have any others, let me know.
Well, during the third quarter, were you trying to take him out?
Was I trying to take him out when they?
Were you trying to sub him out?
Oh, yeah. I was going to take him out, and then Dennis said, "You want me to give him one more shot?" And I said, "Yeah." So Dennis stayed at the scorer's table, and I told Dennis, if he misses, it's your fault. This was your suggestion. So fortunately, he made it, and then I asked Steph. We asked Steph during the timeout if he wanted to stay in, and he said, "No, let's make the sub." So.
Steve, your guys' depth was talked about so much at the beginning of the year with going 12, 13, 14 deep. But is this almost more what you envision? You're kind of trimming down, but you had 7 guys double digits, I think 5, 15-plus points, just multiple guys contributing on both sides of the ball tonight.
I mean, that's always what you want, to have a set rotation and get, really consistent efforts off the bench. And it's obviously not going to happen every night, but I think it can happen pretty consistently. I haven't mentioned J.K. I think this was his 5th straight great game. Even last game when he didn't shoot well, I loved his rebounding. I loved his effort. I just think Jonathan is continuing to break through and understand exactly, what his role is, what we need from him. He was brilliant again tonight. I also just want to point out, Kyle and Loon, we're so lucky to have those guys on the team. They're the most professional guys you could ask for as a coach, as a teammate. And, they're the odd men out right now. And the only way it works in the NBA is if the guys who are not playing are supportive of the other guys and aware of what's happening and accepting of it without being happy about it, but being great teammates. And those guys are amazing. We're lucky to have them, and they're helping everybody else right now and staying ready for when their time comes, which is it's going to happen. They get in for the last 7 minutes. They're clearly the 2 best players on the floor. No pouting. They just go out there and compete. That means a lot to a team, and so we're lucky to have those guys.
There was talk, from you about wanting to kind of trim to a sharper rotation for a while. You obviously, as you're mentioning, have done it now. Was there a moment, a point, maybe a post game that you decided it had to be now?
We were trying to get to it, but we had a lot of absences, injuries, illness, whatever, and then there were a lot of game situations that didn't allow for it for whatever reason. So I do think it's been a concerted effort, the last 4 games, and the indicator really is Loon and Kyle. I think they were DNP the last 3 games, if I'm not mistaken, at least 2. We're really trying to get to a set rotation. If everybody's healthy, then it's still tricky because we got BP and Gary coming back, and we got a really deep roster and a lot of guys who can play. We also have talked about our shooting and the need to get more shooting on the floor. Great to see Moses the last couple games knocking down shots, Lindy as well. So it's not easy. And I'd love to stick with one rotation, but as soon as we're down 10 in the third quarter and we need someone, I'm going to put that guy in. It's just it's a hard balance to find.
Steve, Steph is the first player to go 8 for 8 or better on threes and record 10 assists in NBA history. You've seen him do.
How do you guys know this off the top of your head? It's really impressive.
I have ESPN stats in there.
Oh, you have a phone.
Yeah, but this is the most he's made gone perfect 8 from 3. So you've seen him do a lot of incredible things. What was it like watching him tonight?
It was just fun. I love the bank. It was I think that was his 6th one, if I'm not mistaken, and he deserves these nights. Everything he does for us and endures. It's so fun to see him do this, and our fans and our coaches, we're all spoiled, watching him play night after night. But we need to cherish these nights. He's not going to be around forever, and he is one of the most beautiful basketball players who's ever lived, and we're lucky to be watching him.
*** Warriors should only pursue Jimmy Butler under one condition ***. The buzz around Jimmy Butler's future has intensified. Just over a week ago, Miami Heat president Pat Riley attempted to quell speculation with a public statement. Yet, on Thursday, the narrative shifted dramatically as the possibility of the Golden State Warriors acquiring the star forward reignited. Butler himself acknowledged that rediscovering his joy on the court in Miami seems unlikely. Reports from ESPN's Shams Charania and Brian Windhorst reveal that the 6-time All-Star has indicated a desire to be traded before the deadline. *** Warriors should only negotiate for Jimmy Butler if ***. Despite not providing a list of preferred destinations, Butler's eagerness to leave the franchise he led to 2 NBA Finals appearances is palpable. The Warriors have emerged as strong contenders alongside the Phoenix Suns, Houston Rockets, and Dallas Mavericks for the 35-year-old services. However, negotiating with the Suns could prove challenging due to Butler's hefty $48.8 million salary. This situation would require Bradley Beal to waive his no-trade clause and would necessitate the Heat taking on an unwanted contract. Meanwhile, the Rockets have consistently stated their intent to keep their young core intact, and Butler's fit with the Mavericks alongside Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving is questionable. While other teams will certainly express interest in Butler over the coming weeks, the financial complexities suggest that a robust market isn't likely. Crucially, Karania and Windhorst reported that teams have been informed Butler intends to decline his player option for 2025-26 and become a free agent in July. This revelation will make teams cautious about surrendering significant assets for what could amount to a short-term rental. In light of these factors, the Warriors should only consider trading for Butler under one condition: they must acquire him at a bargain price. To make the numbers work, the Warriors would need to include Andrew Wiggins along with at least 3 other players, but they must be prudent and avoid sacrificing too many future assets for a veteran forward. Moreover, the Warriors should prioritize retaining Jonathan Kuminga, which would allow them the flexibility to potentially bring back either him or Butler, or possibly both, in free agency during the off-season. There's also the question of whether they are willing to part with Brandon Podziemski, especially after holding on to the former 19th overall pick during the off-season. With the January performance, starting with a solid game against the Philadelphia 76ers, set to influence the Warriors' interest in Butler, fans can expect further developments in the coming days and weeks. *** Potential implications for the Warriors season ***. Acquiring Butler could significantly reshape the Warriors season. His experience and competitive drive would add a dynamic edge to a team that has aspirations of contending for another championship. If they can secure him without overcommitting in terms of future assets, Butler could help elevate the team's play in crucial moments, particularly in the playoffs. *** Impact on Miami Heat and Butler's future ***. On the flip side, if Butler is traded, the Heat will need to rethink their strategy. Losing a player of his caliber could lead to a major overhaul, potentially putting Miami in rebuilding mode. The front office will have to balance their roster and ensure they can remain competitive without their star. ***. The league's response ***. The entire league is watching this situation unfold. Other teams may jump at the chance to acquire Butler if the price drops. Should the Warriors opt to pursue Butler aggressively, it could spark a bidding war, prompting teams like the Suns or Mavericks to reassess their strategies as well. As January progresses, the Warriors' ability to maintain momentum while navigating these trade talks will be crucial. Every game will count as they aim to solidify their position in the playoff race while weighing the potential addition of Butler. The outcome of this saga will undoubtedly reverberate through the league, making it one of the most closely monitored narratives in the NBA in the coming weeks.